Hey, how's it going everybody? Everyday Zach, and today we are doing a review on the Centurion outside the waistband holster from Tier 1 Concealment. Alright, so right off the bat we're going to do a firearm safety check, and we're going to look in the bottom of the firearm. We see that there is no magazine, as well as looking down the chamber. We see that there's no round in there. I'm going to put my finger in there just to double check, make sure. Lock the slide, pull the trigger, nothing. Alright, so about the Centurion holster here, this is a Kydex holster for an outside the waistband. This is meant for the Glock 1919X 45 17 34 Gen 5. I had to look that up because I couldn't remember all of them. Obviously we have ours for the Glock 19 5th Gen version, MOS. I'm not sure if that makes a huge difference. I think it's just a cutout on the top of the rail. Now, a couple things about this. I did not get it with the optics cutout because I am no longer running a red dot sight on my firearms. I will have a video hopefully coming up soon about why I no longer run an optic on my firearms. So with the Centurion holster, it does come with a couple different attachments, either for drop-down Safariland's QLS system or Tier 1's proprietary linking system, I guess you can call it. I got this with the Safariland QLS system. I think that's quick locking system. So I guess it would be QLS and not QLS system, because that's like saying ATM machine. It's automated teller machine. So I do have this with the QLS, and I do absolutely love it. Comparative to Blackhawk's version of their quick link system, this is 1,000 times better in my opinion, just for the ease of access to being able to get it on and off. And maybe I'll have to do a review difference between the QLS and from Safariland and the, I guess, QLS, it's a quick link system for Blackhawk. Now I want to go over some of the issues I found with this holster first before I get into the positives. First things first is this attachment point, this back strap here that goes over the firearm, the back of the firearm. There is a little bit of play, and I'll show you. There is quite a bit of play here in the back between the strap and the back of the firearm. It looks like there's not, but the dovetail in the back is actually what's keeping that from looking like there's a lot in there. But there is quite a bit of play in that. And I'm not a huge fan of this back strap here. It seems real flimsy. When you click it down, I don't know if you'll be able to hear this. It has this, I don't know if you can hear that on camera, but it has this weird, almost like a high-pitched click to it, which sounds like it's breaking. The other thing that I've noticed is the thumb lever release ends up getting stuck down like that, and it doesn't actually end up securing the firearm anymore. So you have to push it up to get it to allow the back strap to secure again. And I've contacted them about that. They wanted a video on it. I haven't really been able to get a video out. That's why I'm doing this video here. They can watch this entire video. But that to me is a big issue. I do believe I understand why it's happening. Inside this little section here, you can see the two levers in the left and right side that it's supposed to push it back up when you push it down. But I think what's happening is it's just really tight inside there, and the clearances are too tight and it's too sticky. I think with a little bit of sanding, it may be okay. To me, it just seems a little not thought out. It does say patent pending on there, so maybe in the future they can work out a little bit better of a retention system with the thumb drive. The thumb drive is not like something you put in a computer, but the thumb retention system or the thumb release. Because it's kind of annoying when you're going and practicing constantly, and you go to put the back strap down, and it doesn't latch. The other problems I've had with this holster is the clearances inside here. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see really inside. I've actually had to open this holster up. I took the retention screws out and I've opened it up. I've marked with a Sharpie inside of there where the top of my rail here on both sides were actually rubbing on the Kydex. What that was causing was a retention issue besides the retention screws. While pulling the firearm out, I was getting a lot of resistance. So I'd go to pull the firearm out, and it would actually rotate the holster, the Kydex holster, into my hip, and cause it to actually bite more. And it was actually, there's a couple times I failed to actually pull the firearm out of my holster. That was a huge issue for me. With those little bit of issues, I actually almost sent this thing back. I contacted them. I was pretty upset with the purchase. I wanted to do a review first, get this information out to you guys before I sent it back. But then I thought about it a little bit more, and I thought about the different holsters that I've had to modify, and I thought about what we're dealing with here. So for me to just notice that there was just a little bit of Kydex that was holding this firearm up from coming out of the holster, I decided to, like I said, undo these 3 retention screws, open it up, Sharpie inside of it, put the firearm in and out a couple times, pull it out, and I could see inside where it actually wore at. And I just took about 240 grit sandpaper, and I just started sanding it down slowly, evenly, put it in, draw it in, Sharpie it again. After a few times of doing that, it's like butter now. There's no issues I have with the drawing or holstering of the firearm. Now, you may get something a little bit different. It might be I'm just unlucky and I get a lot of issue holsters. It seems like that's kind of my luck of the draw, is I always get something that's broken, or I get something that shouldn't have passed quality control. Now, I will admit I'm a little bit more tedious, I guess, anal about my holsters, because again, it's securing something that is defending somebody's life, your life, and somebody else's life. It's securing something that can take somebody's life, and I take that very serious. But that's about where the drawback to this holster ends. Other than that, the retention screws on the bottom to retention the TLR1 light and the firearm itself inside the holster works extremely well. I haven't had any of these screws back out. I have had this screw actually back out. I guess there is one more little issue, and this could be easily taken care of with some Loctite. But this screw right here, when you end up pulling that forward, it goes so fast that it actually starts unscrewing this screw. I wish it was maybe a reverse thread. Would have been nice. But unfortunately it's not. So after going back and forth a lot, it ends up unscrewing it and almost falling out. I do have some Loctite. I just wanted to kind of put that out there before I decided to Loctite it. I know Loctite will work. I got some blue Loctite. So hopefully that will work on it. I think it will. But other than that, there's no other issues I've had with this holster. Coffee. So much for there being sunshine today. It looks like it's about to rain. So other than that, this holster has been phenomenal. I've been wearing it around for a couple weeks now, and I did decide to buy a drop-down leg holster from Safariland's website. The issue is, and this is something if Tier 1 Concealment is watching, if you're going to offer the QLS system from Safariland, please offer the holster attachment for it as well. What I mean, the belt attachment, I should say, the part that you actually put on your belt, or a drop-down leg holster. That would be phenomenal. Somebody like me who doesn't know about Safariland QLS system, I was under the assumption that it would come with like a belt attachment as well. It did not. It does not. So to have an option to have not only the male in, the female in, but also something to attach it to the belt as well, whether that's a little C-clip or whatever it may be, would be phenomenal if you guys can offer that. Now let's look at the fitment with the firearm and the holster together. Now with the fitment of the firearm, it slides in very well. It stays in there quite well. I have it pretty tight in there. It's not to the point where I can't pull it out pretty easily, but it's that perfect level of retention system on the TLR1 light. It doesn't feel like it's snagging on anything. It doesn't feel like it's gouging into the Kydex anymore since I made those modifications. The retention system in the back is fairly good. I've pulled on the firearm without accidentally getting that lever all the way down once or twice while I was practicing with this, and I've really pulled into the back strap here with no issues. I've been practicing. I do about 2 hours of practicing drawing every day, dry firing, where I pull and I get rounds on target. The holster's held up quite incredibly. It looks very well designed. I love the design of it. I've worn it out in public, and it definitely turns heads. Whether it's on a drop-down leg holster or if it's just on a belt attachment. It does absolutely strike a presence. I love it. It's a phenomenal holster. I went into it with high hopes, had very low hopes after the issues. After modifying it, it's going to be one of my daily carries now. If I'm not concealed carrying, if I'm outside the waistband carrying, it's probably going to be my #1 go-to now. The QLS system, if I could say so, if you decide to buy a holster like this or outside the waistband holster and you're looking for a locking system, something like QLS, this is going to be a phenomenal system for you to actually get with the firearm, where you could buy it either from Tier 1 Concealment or from Safariland's website. I will say that it's kind of a necessity if you don't have a truck or an SUV and you're going to be in a vehicle. Having a QLS system to be able to pull off, and if you have another female end, you can put it inside your vehicle, attach it somewhere inside the vehicle, and just drop it on there. And let me show you how that looks on a drop-down leg holster. All right, so with the QLS system, it's quite easy. That's it. That's all you need. It's now securely in there. Like I did, I have the drop-down leg holster that does attach to the belt as well. So I do like this system. Attaches to the belt here, and then attaches with a one-strap leg holster, or a leg strap, which you can easily take off to put back on. Simple. I've had no issues with this system. With the coat down, it doesn't get in the way of any of the retentioning systems or the thumb release, so it's quite well. You can easily draw, put back. Yeah, it's a phenomenal holster. I do like a drop-down holster just because I'm not chicken winging it way up top. My preference is a drop-down leg holster, or at least a couple inches below the belt. That gives me a little bit more security of I can draw and bring straight up and pull forward. It's such a little difference between, you know, down here and up here, but I just find it a lot more comfortable down below. Now to get the holster off, I just come down here, I pinch on the back side and the front side, pinch, and it's right off. Now I can put this in my vehicle, connect it to my center console. I can sit down without having to worry about the holster jamming into my center console or anything, because I cannot actually sit in my vehicle with this holster on, or any outside the waistband holster on. My car's too small. And put it back on when I get out. No big issues. It's as easy as that. Yeah, so you guys, it's a great holster if you're looking for a good outside the waistband holster, something for an everyday carry or something for the range. Tier 1 makes a really good sturdy holster for an outside the waistband. I have tried a couple different styles of holsters so far, and I'm looking to try more of them and kind of see what feels really good. And so far, the Tier 1 is a recommended holster. It's a recommended holster. I do like it. The price is actually fairly inexpensive comparative to some holsters I've seen. And before you go commenting down below, I have tried the Canik TP9 SFX inside of it, and it's not going to work. The slide between the Glock 19 and the Canik TP9, the slide on the Canik is a lot bigger, so when you're trying to put it in, it actually ends up hitting a lot of the kydex. You'd have to modify it quite a bit to get it to work. I don't really recommend modifying it that much to get the Canik TP9 to work inside this holster. So unfortunately, this one is a no-go for the Canik TP9, but a yes on the Glock 19. Is there anything else I need to talk about? Retention, screws, modify, brain dabblage. Well, I wish I could show you guys some range time of this holster and how it works and how it functions, drawing and pulling from it. But unfortunately, it's just not feasible for me to do that at the moment. But hopefully one day I'll have my own range and we'll be able to go out and do some shooting and test out some firearms and some holsters and kind of put them to the test. Well, you guys, I appreciate you watching the video. If you guys liked the video, go ahead and hit the like button for me. And if you did not like the video and I offended you in some way, go ahead and hit the dislike button for me. And if you'd like to help the channel grow, go ahead and hit the subscribe button for me. We're almost at 200 subscribers, so I'm pretty excited about that. And I'm hoping to get to 2,500 is kind of a goal for mine. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. And if there's anything you'd like to see reviewed, whether that's holsters, knives, flashlights, backpacks, whatever it may be, go ahead and leave a comment down below and I'll try to get my hands on it and give you guys an idea of what it's like to use these things in everyday life. So you guys, thank you for watching the video again. I really do like the holster from Tier 1 Concealment. I'm not sponsored by Tier 1 Concealment. I'm not sponsored by anybody. So these are all my reviews and my own opinions. Well, obviously they're my reviews, but they're all my own opinion. This thing has been really great to carry out and about, going walking and heading to the store and whatnot. Doesn't get in the way of anything walking. It's been phenomenal to use. So if you're on the fence about getting one, I definitely do recommend trying it out. I do like it. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for watching the video again. I hope you all have a safe and wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.